Hi guys, so I've been meaning to make this video for such a long time, and I've finally gotten the chance to just sit down and chit chat with you guys. So I'm excited, and today we're going to talk about spiritual baths and shadow work and why it works so well together. So I mean, a lot of you all know exactly what a spiritual bath is. It's basically a bath filled with different salts, different herbs, different oils and spiritual colognes and so on, and it's sprayed upon, and you take the bath for different reasons, for like, for example, purification, cleansing, protection, for abundance and so on. And as you know, shadow work is basically a mental exercise that you use to basically bring up or bring forth situations or traumatic situations that happened in your past that you've hid away in your subconscious mind, but it's still there. And you're basically, when you do shadow work exercises, you basically help yourself to become aware of certain things that are still on or in your mind or on your mind, that could be possibly holding you back from excelling and reaching your true potential. So basically, when it comes to spiritual baths, almost everybody wants to experience a spiritual bath, or almost everybody thinks that at a certain point in their life they needed a spiritual bath. And while it may be true, a lot of people don't necessarily need a spiritual bath, but a lot of people also do. So that's where the consultations come in, right? So if you think that you need a spiritual bath, you're experiencing certain things. I mean, there's a video on my page right now of different signs and symptoms that you may be having that will indicate that you need a spiritual bath. Now, if you feel like this is going on, it's no problem. You could message me. We can set up a consultation, and we could have a sit down and have a little chit chat just like this, like friends, and we would sort you out. Now, with the spiritual baths, I always recommend, or once you start in your spiritual journey, once you're on that road to enlightenment, and you really want to take that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of not just yourself, but of where you come from as a person, when it comes to learning about different things about African spirituality, African history, African traditions, and so on, you really want to start with you first. So this is where shadow work comes in. Shadow work is like a little journey you go on to enlightenment of self, right? So 1 second. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, shadow work. Now, it is really important that you start doing your shadow work first. It's like the foundation of your spiritual journey. I would never recommend that you start your spiritual journey and you just skip shadow work. It doesn't work like that, right? And even if you do start your spiritual journey without shadow work, you're going to always find yourself coming back and starting over. And it's like a reoccurring cycle. So in order to not put yourself through that, I would always recommend that you do your shadow work first. Okay? So we have shadow work journals or booklets on sale. It's soft copy, so we send it to you via WhatsApp or email, right? And this book basically it's like a workbook. So they ask you questions and you answer the questions truthfully. I would always recommend that you have a little notebook and a little pen, and you do your exercises in the notebook and pen. Now you can do the exercises in your mind, but I would always like for you to, you know, look back and see, okay, so and so happened, and this is why I felt like this, and this is how I reacted. Oh, so that's why I reacted that way. It's really good to look back and see your notes. Now, the shadow work really helps you to learn certain things about yourself. right? And learn about why you move the way you do, or why you feel the way you do, or understand exactly why you're in the space that you're in life at the moment. So a lot of us might find ourselves feeling very depressed, anxious, um, just lost in life, right? And when you do shadow work, um, you give it, it's like okay, you give yourself a little insight of why certain things are happening in your life, right? Now, shadow work is like your little guide to learning about you. So it's really, really helpful. I think that everybody should do shadow work, whether you are spiritual or you can be religious, it doesn't matter. You could be an atheist, it doesn't matter. Shadow work is really good, and not just while you're on a spiritual journey, but while you just on a journey learning yourself, and just especially if you're somebody that has been through a lot of traumatic experiences, and traumatic experiences doesn't always mean like, okay, for instance, you were sexually, you're mentally, you're physically abused as a child or as a teenager. Shadow work is non-stop. Let's just put that out there. Shadow work is non-stop. We go through things in life, and it doesn't always have to be the most traumatic experience. Anything that is bothering us mentally, is causing trauma to our minds or our mental state, is trauma. It is a traumatic experience. It doesn't have to be something crazy and as long as your mental state is bothered, that is trauma. It could be your boyfriend break up with you when you were 16 years old and you still remember that, and you remember that to be very traumatic. It might not be traumatic to me or to Stacy or to whoever else, but it was traumatic to you, and your feelings are valid, right? So it is important to work through this, because just that experience could have altered or change your perception of men, or change your perception of how relationships are supposed to be, and it would affect you later on in life, obviously, right? So it's really important that we work through even the smallest traumas that happen to us in life. We need to work through it, right? It's really, really important. Some of the things that we hold back, or we put to the back of our minds, in our subconscious minds, some of those things really hold us back from reaching our true potential. It really, really does. And sometimes it's the smallest things, and when you really explore and you learn and you get into it, and you learn about, okay, how much it affected your life and your day-to-day, just your behaviors, your mannerism, everything, you will say, wow, this little thing caused all this. Some of you will be astonished. Now, a lot of y'all has purchased the workbook, but a lot of y'all haven't. Especially those of y'all that already purchased spiritual baths recently. I would recommend that you also get the book. It's very helpful. So, what I also wanted to touch on is the fact that spiritual baths are not only you take a bath and you automatically start seeing, oh my god, I can win the lotto now, and maybe the man will come back, and maybe I'll get back this job that I lost in 1962, or maybe I'll finally get a agency will come for the house. Now those things are possible. With God, anything is possible. But let's be real. A spiritual bath is basically a cleanse for you, and some are cleansed. Of course, there are different baths for different things, right? But what I'm saying is not only just take a bath and say a prayers. You have to put in the work, right? And that is why I recommended shadow work. It's not only, okay, let me take this bath now, and say a little to our Father and go my way, and that's it. It doesn't work like that. You have to put in the work, not just physical work, mental work, emotional work. You have to put in the work. And that is why I keep saying shadow work is so important. You have to do your shadow work. I can't stress on it no more. I can't stress on it no more, people. We gotta get it together. We gotta get it together. Okay? I don't want y'all to be just lost out there, because a lot of people keep, I get so many questions on a daily basis. What to do if my boyfriend don't want to help me with groceries, and you have anything for that? No, but I have a shadow work booklet, and that's going to help you to understand and find yourself, and you're going to understand and find your self-worth, and you're going to understand that you are not in a situation where that is conducive to your growth. So when you have, for example, the boyfriend that don't want to help you with groceries, or the cheating husband that they just can't seem to leave, shadow work is going to help you to realize that your self-worth is important. You understand? Loving yourself is important. And when you love yourself, you don't take bullshit, especially from men, whether you're married or not. Okay, ladies? I know you're coming, eh? Lariam. Yeah. Thanks. Right? So, just an example, eh? I just behave on yourself. Right? So, it really teaches you how to not only get over your traumatic experiences, but value yourself. Value yourself and tap into who you are and be more self-aware. Not physically self-aware, but mentally. Mentally, you see these temples here? Get it going. Get the wheels going, okay? So, I think that's basically all I really wanted to say. I really want to make it mandatory that everybody that is taking a spiritual bath start doing shadow work. And I don't know if I'm gonna include the shadow work booklet with the spiritual baths now. I'm not sure, but I really want y'all to start doing the shadow work. Oh my gosh. I've had clients that have been doing the shadow work, and the results, they feel so enlightened. They feel so, what's the word I want to use? Like born again. Because they come to the realization that, oh my gosh, what have I been doing all my life? You know, what have I been, just like, it really helped them to have that sense of awareness, to have that sense of self, to realize, wow, I've been taking shit all my life, or I've been feeling this way all my life, or doing this all my life, and it has not been conducive to my spiritual or mental or emotional growth. And when you feel, and when you start loving yourself, and when you start that's my dog. And when you start just feeling that weight lifting off your shoulders, you believe me, I can't even put no words into it, because I've done a lot of shadow work in my past, and I still do shadow work on a daily basis, because to be honest, life is hard. Life is hard for everybody out here. And people go through things. People go through experiences. Like I said before, it does not have to be this big traumatic wahoo, right? Things happen every single day, and shadow work is going to help you, like, learn how to deal with a lot of things. Not just shadow work, but you could also incorporate meditation as well. And now meditation is something that you really have to practice. You really have to practice meditation. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to meditate today and then I'll take a break tomorrow. No, you have to be consistent. So if you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to start meditating and I'm going to do it for 5 minutes today. Just 5, don't do no whole 15 minutes and 20 minute meditation. Just give yourself 5 minutes to sit still and just breathe. And when you first started, you're going to feel like nothing is happening. Oh God, my eye closed, and I'm thinking, well, I don't wash the chair and clothes, and my husband ain't buy the corned beef, and this and that. And you're going to have thoughts just flowing through your mind like crazy when you first start meditating, believe me. Because when I first started, I say, you see me on this shit? I ain't able. I ain't able. But as time progressed and I was consistent, I found myself meditating for sometimes a whole hour, and I felt so good. I felt so, excuse me, I felt so good afterwards. It's like your mind gets, and let me tell you something, yeah? When you're meditating, it doesn't mean that your mind is totally clear and you're on a cloud somewhere floating around, fireflies in the sky. No. Thoughts are going to come and go. Thoughts are going to come and go. The key to meditation is not having any thoughts. Thoughts will come. Your brain is still working. The key is not dwelling on those thoughts. So you're not going to think, oh gosh, I didn't buy the corned beef. Oh God, I wonder which grocery have it, boy. This grocery have it for $17.95, but Massey have it for $18.95. Oh God, the corned beef. And you're not going to think about corned beef for a whole 20 minutes. You're going to say, oh shucks, I buy the corned beef. Oh well. Oh gosh, Ryan didn't call me. Alright, I'll call him tomorrow. And it's good. When you first start, it's going to be like that. Brace yourself. And as you get into meditation more and more, you might want to get into astral projection and all type of different stuff. And yes, we have books on all of that. If you want to learn more about it, we have books. I'm going to share the books in my stories once again, and you could get into it. And well, as I said before, all the books are soft copy, so you get it in either your email or your WhatsApp, right? So I think that's basically it. I wish I could have come live, but every time I come live, y'all could never hear what I'm saying. I don't know if it's my speaker, if I have to buy a new phone. I don't know. But that's basically it for today. And I hope y'all really get into the shadow work. Please, give me that for Christmas now. Just get into shadow work. Not for me, but for you. Okay? Get into the shadow work. Don't forget your spiritual baths. Don't leave that out. Don't wait until your life going crazy and haywire and you lost your job and you had no money and you... Woo! Don't wait for so long. Don't wait so long. Please. Okay? And I hope you all continue to be good. Stay blessed. Stay positive. And just be you. Don't stress. Just be you. Okay? So I'm hoping to see you guys soon again. Hopefully I'll make another video soon once I get time. And y'all be safe. I'll talk to you later. Bye.